afternoon, and good evening. Let's talk about the case about Gilmore Obrega Garcia. This is the case that's currently in court. What's happening right now, I just received an email from gov.track in reference to this particular case, and I just wanted to read it to you guys so you guys know what is occurring at this moment. Excuse me, it's a really short video, really short live that I'm going to do right now. But I'll be back and I'll talk a little bit more about this, right? Excuse me. So the Trump administration, deportations to El Salvador, and what's going on. So it says here, hey everyone, today we're diving into a hot and complicated topic, the Trump administration's deportations, specifically those involving El Salvador and Venezuela. It's messy, it's legal, and it's definitely controversial. So let's buckle up, right? Back in May in 2025, the Supreme Court dropped a unanimous decision saying this loud and clear. Everyone in the U.S., yes, even undocumented immigrants, have the right and due process. That means the government has to give reasonable notice before deporting someone. Sounds fair, right? I mean, I would want that if it was something that I did. Well, the Trump administration, they basically said, nah, we'll do what we want, and ignoring that ruling. Fast forward to July 18th, the administration struck a prisoner swap deal with Venezuela and El Salvador. 10 Americans held in Venezuela were sent back home. Let's not forget that those 10 people that were sent back home to the United States were criminals. They had some shady shit that they had done. About 250 Venezuela immigrants who were locked up in El Salvador max security prison called Esecot were released and sent back to Venezuela. One of those deported was Andy Hernandez Romero, the makeup artist who fled Venezuela for safety and was still waiting on his asylum case when he got sent back. Yeah, not really great, right? Now, here's where it gets a little wild. Gilmore Abrego Garcia was deported to El Salvador because of a clerical error. Yeah, that's what they say. Yep, a paper mess up. Sure, why not? Then on June 7th, the government pulled a 180 and brought him back to the United States to face charges related on an alleged migrant smuggling case, supposedly. His lawyers want him free before the trial because they fear government will deport him again before he gets a fair shot. The judge agreed, but he's still in custody. Okay? Hola. And the White House, they tweeted sarcastically that he's never coming back. Not exactly a confidence booster for justice. So, here we go. Garcia is suing the Trump administration for wrongful deportation, and federal judge ruled the government definitely had power to bring him back despite the administration earlier claims that they couldn't. Plus, the UN investigations heard from El Salvador officials that deported the deportees from Insecot still basically under US control, meaning the US government is responsible for what happens to them. All of them, no matter what, because they deported them and they were here in the United States and they didn't get due process. In June, the Supreme Court blocked a lower court order requiring the government to give deportees at least 15 days notice before being sent to countries that aren't their own home countries. Why? Because the lower court said deportees deserve a chance for an interview to say if they're scared for their lives for those countries. The Supreme Court put a hold on that meant some men were deported to war-torn South Sudan with barely any warning or any chance to speak up. Let's not forget, they're beginning to send people to Rwanda. And let's not forget that they have been sending people to the Sudan. I'm sorry, the Darien jungle. the Darien jungle. They've been sending people there. So what's the takeaway? The Trump administration deportation policies have been a legal roller coaster with courts pushing back, but the administration often pushing harder. The human cost is people are being deported to dangerous places with little to none of due process, clerical errors causing chaos, and legal battles that could set big precedents. If you find this breakdown helpful, then go ahead and come back and listen to more as we bring more information in reference to this. Who cares? Go back to wherever you remember you came from legally. I don't know what your name is, but let me remind you of something. You are the colonizer. You were never from the Americas. So as you come here and you say things like this, I want you to remember one thing specifically. You crossed the whole Atlantic Ocean to get to the Americas while we were already inhabiting the Americas. So I don't understand where you come up with your privilege of saying these things, because you're not from here. This was and will continue to be forever and ever. Forever and ever, it will continue to be Turtle Island, and it will be the home to the indigenous people. And if you don't remember, people like me who are Mexican, we are indigenous to North America. So please, if you have some thoughts and prayers about how you feel, get on that boat, get on that cruise ship, and get your ass back to Europe or wherever the hell you came from. And that's reality. And hey, you can enjoy what I'm saying or you can hate it. But that's basically what it is. Brown people like me who are Mexican, people who look like me that are Salvadorian, Guatemalan, Honduran, Peruvian, we are the original Americans, like it or not. And with that, I'm going to say I'm out. We'll be back later with more information. That was a tidbit of a release from the government, track.com.gov for the day. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. And I hope that door doesn't slap on your ass as you're getting on the boat back to Europe.